Queen Elizabeth I was a woman who turned doubt into power and fear into strength. At a time when many believed a queen could not rule as strongly as a king, Queen Elizabeth I proved them wrong and created a golden age for England. Queen Elizabeth I was born on September 7, 1533, as the daughter of King Henry VIII of England and Anne Boleyn. Her father was a powerful and often unpredictable ruler, and her mother's life ended tragically when she was executed when Queen Elizabeth I was still a young child. From the beginning, her place in the royal family was uncertain, and many doubted that she would ever rise to the throne. In her early life, Queen Elizabeth I faced challenges that would have broken many others. After her mother's death, she was declared illegitimate, and her status at court was shaky. She often lived away from the royal palace, moving from one household to another. Despite the instability, Queen Elizabeth I grew strong and clever, learning how to survive in a world where her position could be taken away at any moment. Education became one of the great strengths of Queen Elizabeth I. She studied languages, philosophy, history, and the classics, becoming one of the most educated women of her time. She could speak Latin, French, Italian, and even some Greek. Her tutors admired her sharp mind and discipline. This education gave Queen Elizabeth I the tools she would later use to rule wisely, negotiate with foreign leaders, and inspire her people with powerful words. Queen Elizabeth I never married and had no children. This was unusual for a ruler in those times, and many pressured her to take a husband. But Queen Elizabeth I always chose her crown over marriage. She often called herself the Virgin Queen, saying she was married to her country and her people. This choice gave her freedom and independence, though it also meant she carried the heavy burden of ruling alone without a family of her own. The career of Queen Elizabeth I began in a storm of danger. When her sister Mary I was queen, Queen Elizabeth I was suspected of plotting against her. She was even imprisoned in the Tower of London, fearing for her life each day. Yet she survived and remained patient. When Mary I died in 1558, Queen Elizabeth I became queen at the age of 25, stepping onto the throne with both hope and fear. As queen, Queen Elizabeth I achieved greatness. She brought stability to a kingdom torn apart by religious conflict. She established the Church of England firmly, allowing her people to have a faith that was neither fully Catholic nor fully Protestant, but something uniquely English. She encouraged trade and exploration, opening England to the wider world. Under her rule, explorers like Sir Francis Drake circled the globe, and Sir Walter Raleigh began ventures in the New World. Her support of the arts created the golden age of English literature, with William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe writing plays that are still celebrated today. Yet challenges followed Queen Elizabeth I everywhere. Powerful enemies surrounded England, and the greatest threat came from Spain. In 1588, King Philip II of Spain sent the mighty Spanish Armada to invade England. The danger was overwhelming, but Queen Elizabeth I stood strong. She rode among her soldiers in armor, declaring that though she had the body of a weak and feeble woman, she had the heart and stomach of a king. The English navy, with help from strong winds, defeated the Armada, marking one of the greatest victories in English history. This triumph showed the world that England was rising as a powerful nation. Despite her success, the life of Queen Elizabeth I was not without sorrow. The constant pressure to marry and secure an heir haunted her reign. She also faced plots against her life, including one that led her to order the execution of her cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots. The decision weighed heavily on her heart, but Queen Elizabeth I believed it was necessary to protect England from threats. In her later years, loneliness grew stronger. Without a husband or children, she relied on her advisors and her people for comfort, but she often felt the emptiness of ruling alone. The later life of Queen Elizabeth I was marked by both glory and decline. Her people loved her deeply, but age brought weariness. She became cautious in making decisions, and some of her advisors grew frustrated. Yet Queen Elizabeth I still carried herself with dignity and majesty, reminding everyone of the strength that had defined her reign. On March 24, 1603, Queen Elizabeth I died at the age of 69 after ruling for 45 years. Her death ended the Tudor dynasty, and the crown passed to King James I of Scotland, uniting England and Scotland under one ruler. Though her body left the world, her spirit lived on in the nation she had shaped. The legacy of Queen Elizabeth I remains powerful even today. She showed that a woman could rule as strongly as any man, guiding her country through war, political struggles, and cultural change. Her reign is remembered as a golden age, a time when England found confidence, pride, and a new sense of identity. The strength, intelligence, and courage of Queen Elizabeth I continue to inspire leaders and dreamers across the world. One of her famous quotes captures spirit. "I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and of a king of England too." If you enjoyed this story of Queen Elizabeth I, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from history.